I never used to be afraid of cats. In fact, I thought I understood them. Those twitching tails, those slow blinks, the disdain that felt almost comforting. When you grow up alone long enough, strange habits fill the silence. Mine was feeding the feral cats behind the old boarding house. Their scraps were small, bones from chicken thighs, congealed leftovers, whatever I could scrounge from the kitchen without the landlady catching me. They trusted me in that cautious, wide-eyed way that cats do. All except one. The black one. He didn't come to the others' calls or join their little half-circle of waiting hunger. He watched from atop broken cinder blocks stacked by the fence, green eyes gleaming like stained glass. He never blinked, never moved. Not until the night everything changed. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Ezra. I am, well, was, a quiet man. A forgettable man, I suppose. I worked nights at a dusty little archive, scanning brittle documents from a time when people thought paper lasted forever. I liked the quiet. I liked the idea that nothing dead could reach out from its pages. Now I know better. The thing that came for me wasn't bound in parchment or buried in a ledger. It prowled on silent paws, and it had waited a long, long time. The first real sign that something was wrong happened in October, though I didn't understand its meaning until far later. The feral colony was noisy that night, yowling, hissing, scattering like leaves ripped by the wind. I had brought a plastic grocery bag full of cheap tuna and bread crusts, expecting the usual chaos of paws and tails, but when I stepped through the warped back door into the alley, a strange chill threaded through the humid southern air. All the cats had gathered on one side of the yard, pressed together like a terrified flock of birds. Their ears were flat. Their eyes, dozens of them, glinted at the same point atop the cinder block stack. The black one was perched there like a gargoyle carved from midnight. He was larger than I remembered, not fat, long. His silhouette stretched, tail swaying behind him like a thin rope, too deliberate to be casual. His fur was so black it seemed to absorb the sodium yellow alley light. And he was staring at me. For the first time, he blinked. Once, slow, intentional, acknowledging me. I felt that blink like a touch on my spine. "Hey," I whispered. "You hungry too?" The others didn't move. Their bodies were tight with dread. Even the mean old Tom with half an ear backed away from the cinder blocks. Then the black cat opened its mouth. The sound that came out wasn't a meow. It was a soft, wet clicking, like someone tapping bones together. I actually stepped back. He hopped down from the blocks with disturbing grace. Not cat-like, too smooth, too fluid, like a drop of dark ink that had learned how to shape itself. His paws were silent on the dirt, but the air shifted around him. He sat in front of me. Waited. I dropped the bag. The tuna cans rattled. The noise broke whatever trance I'd fallen into. I blinked hard, and when my vision steadied, the black cat was gone. just gone. No running, no streak of movement, no shadow. As if he'd just stepped sideways out of existence. The other cats bolted in every direction. I was left alone in the alley with a bag of scattered tuna and a question I didn't want to ask myself. Why did it feel like something had just chosen me? The next day, odd things began happening. Small things at first, easy to dismiss. My shoelaces were tied together when I woke up. The lights flickered in long, rhythmic pulses instead of random bursts. I found muddy paw prints on the inside of my bedroom window pane. Not the outside. Inside. But what pushed it from weird into wrong was the archive. I was halfway through scanning a set of Japanese shipping documents from the late 1800s, yellowed sheets that smelled faintly of mildew and iron, when a page stuck to the bottom of another. A thin scrap I hadn't noticed, handwritten. Black ink, fluid brushstrokes. A short poem, or maybe a charm. I don't read Japanese, but I felt fear when I saw it. Each character felt like it had been written with a hand that trembled. Something about it drew my eyes, forced my breathing to slow in that trapped way a rabbit freezes under a hawk's shadow. And near the bottom was a hand-sketched outline. A cat. But not like any cat I'd ever seen. Its body was too long, its grin too wide, and its tail split at the end, two thin tendrils curling like fingers. My stomach tightened. I scanned it anyway. My job demanded thoroughness. And as the machine clicked and hummed, the air behind me grew cold. Not a draft. A presence. A weight. A breath. A voice whispered behind me, "Do you like it?" I jumped so violently that my chair skidded. But when I spun around, no one was there. The aisles between shelves were empty. The dim desk lamp cast its frail circle of light unchanged. The room was silent, but for my own heartbeat thudding against my ribs like it wanted out. I told myself I was just tired, sleep-deprived, imagining things. But as I turned back, the scanner had stopped mid-process. The screen flashed. Jam detected. And there, on the glass bed of the scanner, was a perfect, wet paw print. At least 3 times the size that a cat should have. I tried to go to bed early that night. It didn't matter. Sleep refused to come. My overworked mind replayed every odd, twitching detail. The cats fleeing, the black one blinking at me, the paw print inside the window, the whisper in the archive. Sometime after midnight, exhaustion finally dragged me under. I awoke to a weight on my chest. Not the benign heaviness of sleep paralysis. Not the vague half-awareness of a nightmare pressing down. This was physical. Real. A pressure like 2 small paws resting carefully, deliberately, I opened my eyes. He was there. The black cat, sitting on my chest. But larger now. His front paws sank into my sternum with chilling solidity. His eyes gleamed brighter than the room should have allowed, reflecting no light source I owned. I tried to move. I couldn't. He tilted his head, studying me with unnerving intelligence. And then he parted his jaws and spoke. Not in English, not in a human voice, but something between a growl and a whisper slithered into my mind. Not through my ears, but directly behind my eyes. You fed the children, but you have never fed me. My heart slammed so hard I thought I'd pass out. The cat's mouth didn't move with the words. The sound was inside me, pulsing like a second heartbeat. I am older than this place. Older than your small bones. Older than your fragile breath. Almost older than the wind. Almost. His tail, no, tails, two of them now, then his whips curled behind him, and his teeth were too long, too sharp. You called me with offerings you did not understand, he said. You gave tribute to my little shadows. They have accepted you, and so I have come to claim what is owed. I forced air into my lungs. What do you want? I asked, terrified. He blinked slowly. What all hungry gods want. And then the weight vanished. He was gone. I rolled off the bed, gasping, clutching my chest. The room was empty, silent, unchanged. But on my blankets were 3 wet paw prints. Large ones. Leading to the door. Fear does strange things to a man. It sharpens the senses. It erodes reason. It makes you believe in things you never would have dared consider before. I didn't go to work the next day. I pulled out my laptop and searched everything I could think of. Japanese folklore, cats with 2 tails, ancient spirits, yokai. Most sites were vague or contradictory, but certain details appeared again and again. The Bakaneko. A transformed cat. A cursed thing. A creature born from neglect or hatred or simply age. Some stories said they could grow monstrous with time. Some said they wore human faces or imitated voices. Some said they fed on breath. Some said they chose their humans. One line that I found hit me the hardest. A Bakeneko will fixate on a single person until the debt is paid, the hunger is met, or the spirit is banished. I didn't know how to banish anything, but I knew one thing. I couldn't stay in my room. I couldn't stay anywhere alone.